as you know, I'm going to talk about one-child policy again. Could you please raise up your hand if you are not the first child in your family? Okay, congratulations, you are in the United States. And if your parents are Chinese, then you won't be here, and maybe, yeah, I won't see you guys anymore. So, I disagree with the one-child policy, and I think it should be changed. It brings many significant negative impacts on the Chinese society since it published in 1979 by the Chinese government. And the following, I will talk about the problems caused by the one-child policy, about economy and physical and psychological problems. So I think economically the one-child policy works in the short run since it creates favorable conditions for the economic growth and better average living standard. The Chinese government has successfully raised up the gross national product per capita by lowering its population growth rate, and people's living conditions and purchasing power are increased dramatically since the policy was initiated. But the problem there is it doesn't create positive impacts on the economy in the long run. The aging population is the major problem China will face. Here is 130 million senior citizens that make up 10% of the total population, and it is predicted that this will be increased about over 31% by the year of 2050. In the year 2030, the government officials predict that 10% of national income will be used for 300 million retiring citizens. And a child in China now has to afford their 2 parents and 4 grandparents, so there will be a huge burden for them. So changes need to be made in order to create in order to erase the burden for carrying an aging population that will cause negative effects to the Chinese economy. And now I will talking about the physical and psychological problems caused by the one-child policy. National Family Planning Commissions in China found that 70.7% of women would like to have 2 or more babies. But the fact is that there are many abortions, sterilizations, kidnappings, and murders due to the one-child policy. Case 1. In the mid-2000s, authorities in Shandong raided the homes of families with extra children, demanding that parents with second child get sterilized, and a woman pregnant with their third child will get abortions. And if you refuse to cooperate, dogs are sometimes will sent to your homes and to destroy your house and beat them up. If you run away, sometimes your parents and relatives are imprisoned. One woman said that he had permit for a second child, was caught into a white one, taken to a clinic, and physically forced to sign up a form was given a sterilization operation that took only 10 minutes. Case 2. Some of the children are believed to seized by family planning officials and sold to the orphanage, which then they will sell their babies to adopting parents. Many of them are from United States. A worker from Hunan province whose doctor taken into 2005 and later found to be living in the United States said that his children was exported abroad like they were factory products. Case 3. The grandmother of a 4-month-old girl who was taken in Hunan province by a dozen officials said that the official grabbed the baby and dragged her out of the house. I was screaming. I thought they were going to knock me over, she said. Case 4. A television show reported that the woman paid a man about 10,000 American dollars to kill her stepdaughter due to the one-child policy, since she wants another children. For these people, in this case, I believe that even though the wound is healing fast, the psychological trauma left on those people was profound. Now I'm talking about my personal feeling about the one-child policy, since I'm the only child in my family. I think we are losing the sense of socialization and becoming more selfish, since we don't have the sense of taking care of others. And when I was a child, I feel very lonely because my parents are busy and they leave me alone in my home. All I wish is that I can have someone to accompany and play with me. Based on the result of the research question on my blogs, I am pretty envied that you guys are all have brothers or sisters, but I can't have them. And I envy that you can have your siblings to hang out with, to accompany with, to comfort, to understand, to be around, but I can't. So maybe sometimes you will fight each other, but you are the family, and that is the family. No matter what, you can solve the problem together. But can you imagine your life without them, or give up them by the government policy? In conclusion, I believe government policies are created to benefit the citizens of a society, but the fact is that this policy is hurting our residents. So I think changes is necessary to erase the negative impacts on the society.
Still recording?
I'm gonna, oh, thanks.